For as much as things change, the more they say the same. What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Evil Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time, it's another episode of Eagle Eye, the Arsenal transfer rumours show. Now, what do I mean by my opening statement? For as much as people want to blame a lot of things on Arsene Wenger, rightly so, and yeah, for a large part, we've had a satisfactory, should we say, transfer window. We have. There is so much lastminute.com shit. Car boot sale Arsenal. Lastminute.com Arsenal. You know, we have left it till 3 days before the transfer window, before it finally occurred to us that, oh, we need to make some fucking sales. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know what's going on. Let's address the elephant in the room. And no, I don't mean me, cheeky fuckers. Calum Chambers. Now, you guys know I am particularly high on Calum Chambers. Rate the kid a lot. Call it bias if you want. I thought he has performed the best out of all of our central defenders this season, this pre-season, I should say. Someone who, to be honest with you, I was looking on to take a bigger role this season. Someone who, you know, if it all did go tits up with Socrates, he'd be the guy I'd be looking on to be like, right, I'm going to establish this place, this position as mine. Don't look like that's going to happen this season. So in spite of the fact that Calum signed a contract last month, a new contract last month, we've just loaned him to Fulham, who, by the way, Fulham were on a deal. You know? These motherfuckers are not looking to survive the Premier League. They're looking to finish top half. They are quietly going about their business. You watch what Fulham do. Watch what Fulham do. I'm putting a little sneaky fiver on them to survive, I tell you. I'm confused by this one. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm a realist. I'm a realist. At the moment, we have 5 central defenders, and all of us are banging on about the fact that we still need that area strengthening. I am one of those people who believe that area needs strengthening. I'm not convinced by Socrates. I'm just going to be real about it. I'm not convinced. The prospect of him playing against City, as it now increasingly looks like is going to happen, terrifies the shit out of me. It really does. The idea of Sane just galloping and this motherfucker not being able to keep up terrifies the shit out of me. Having said all of that, the one ray of hope I had was that Calum Chambers would be an option. Hell, I did a show with Mike and Ola yesterday. Right? Big shout out to those two. That show was really well received. Really good show. Really easy going show. A nice, easy, I don't even think it was 90 minutes. It was a nice, easy time. Nice, easy show. Good show for you guys to listen to, right? And I think most of us at least 2 out of 3 of us picked Chambers to start alongside Mustafi. And although I hate Mustafi, I think we were thinking more on the lines of, or at least Chambers to start anyway. And I think all of us were thinking in the lines of, all right, well, Socrates ain't quick. Chambers ain't the quickest, to be fair. But, you know, I think at least he has more experience in the league. He might be able to help Socrates out a little bit. Or if it is Mustafi and Chambers, then at least we had 2 people who can at least cope with the pace of, you know, of this City attack. We finished the show, and then straight after it, we get some breaking news that we're looking to loan Calum Chambers to Fulham. Now, anyone who's a long-time listener of mine will know that I love Chambers. I rate the kid. I do. I rate the kid. We could stop playing him as a right back. I think we can develop him into a decent defender. I see good qualities in him. But this loan makes no fucking sense. I mean, to me, the person, if we're going to lose a defender, the person I would lose is Mustafi. I don't rate him. I don't think he'll improve. Like I said on yesterday's show, there are two players that I don't believe Emre's going to improve. One of them is Hector Bellerin. The other is Squadron Mustafi. Quote me, motherfuckers. I'm ready to eat my words in May if they turn out and they do well. I will say it again. Two players I do not believe will improve under Emre is Squadron Mustafi and Hector Bellerin. Right? And now I'm starting to hear these stories kind of the beginning of last week, middle of last week, that, Emre has decided, fuck this, and decided to cut his losses with Mustafi. And that maybe we're trying to look at a swap deal with Vida. I thought, well, yeah, that's the way to do it. Talk about hitting the upgrade button. But this loan doesn't make no sense. Even if you decided to loan one of these defenders, why wouldn't you go Rob Holding? To me, I said from what last year, I felt like Holding should be the one to be loaned because he was the one that was getting the least football. So to me, he's 22. He's at a crucial age for a central defender. I would have loaned him. That to me, that was the move. You loan him, he develops. Meanwhile, you bring in another defender. Everybody's a winner. But this Chambers thing just confuses me. I hope he does well. I hope it's not a wrap for his Arsenal future. I'm really hoping that. One might say, oh, well, it's just sign a new contract here, but obviously it's not a wrap. Motherfuckers, did anyone call this? I think at this point, everything is fair game, quite honestly. The man signed a contract, I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. So I think at this point, everything is fair game. It's very possible that his Arsenal career could be over. I'm hoping not. I would expect it not to be. But I'm confused by this move completely. I do like the sound that Vida will complete his move to Arsenal should we let Calum go to Fulham. It just seems like an unusual price to play to bring in Vida, but the good thing is we're bringing in an imposing defender. I know a lot of people are a bit worried. They see him as another Mustafi. I must admit, and you guys know us onto Mustafi from day one. I don't see that from this Vida guy. Admittedly, I've only mainly seen him at the World Cup, but when I saw him at the World Cup, he was an imposing figure. When Croatia played Nigeria, even when Croatia played Argentina, to be honest, and when Croatia played England, he had a really good World Cup. One of the main reasons I think Croatia got all the way to the final. 29 years old, so people were a little bit sour because of that. He played for Besiktas as well. You know, had he played for a Spanish team or an Italian team, trust me, people would be excited. So I think people were apprehensive because of it. I don't see any Mustafi in them. I must be real. But let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm a bit sour on that. And then another story is Perez. So it looks like Lucas Perez has or is about to. Last I saw, he was about to complete his move to West Ham. There was a little last-minute discussion that Fulham might come in because Fulham seemingly are spending more money than us. Everybody is spending more money than us. Fulham are buying the whole world at the moment, but it looked like Fulham might come in last minute. And then Perez was like, well, I'd rather go West Ham. Unsurprisingly, no disrespect to Fulham, West Ham are the bigger club. As much as I take the piss out of West Ham, they are the bigger club. So it looks like he's going to complete it for 4.5 million. Gosh. Also, we need to stop overpaying for these motherfuckers. That's what we need to stop doing. So those are two down. So we're looking to get rid of Danny Welbeck and Aaron Ramsey. The Aaron Ramsey one is still a little bit up in the air. You know, the one thing I'll say about this Aaron Ramsey story, I'm yet to see a story that says that Aaron Ramsey wants to leave. A lot of the assumptions are being made is that Aaron wants to leave because he signed his contract. And we as Arsenal fans have mentally prepared ourselves. So let's face it, we've been here before. So we know how to brace ourselves for this. And it's just a case of, all right, well, if he's going to leave to Chelsea, let's make something happen. Don't just sell Chelsea and sell him to Chelsea. I think that was the thing that really pissed Arsenal fans off about the Van Persie thing. You sold him to United, and then you didn't do fuck all to... Don't tell me Giroud was the Van Persie replacement. You should have got the replacement in as well as Giroud. And that was the point. So, you know, selling Ramsey, fine, but have some sort of plan as to how you're going to use that money. Selling Ramsey to Chelsea for the sake of selling Ramsey to Chelsea is not going to sit well with us. I am all for, you know, not letting this motherfucker run down his contract. But I also don't want the money to just burn a hole in fucking Stan's wallet until he decides he wants to buy his next ranch. So that's the crucial part. Sell Ramsey, no problem, but reinvest that money. That's my number one concern right now. So let's see what happens. I mean, there's still stories. You know, the Dembele thing hasn't quite gone away. Yes, you know, we heard stories yesterday that Barca have come out and they basically said Dembele isn't going anywhere to Dembele. But I ain't heard Dembele say that he ain't moving nowhere. And because of that, stories continue to roll on. One thing I am a little surprised about, we've let Ramsey go. I'm a bit surprised we haven't tried to move for Loftus-Cheek. You know, if he wants to go to Chelsea, why are we not trying to get Loftus-Cheek in some sort of return? You know, I rate that kid. A presence in the midfield as well. To me, that seemed like a no-brainer. Or if you're going to let Ramsey go, why not try and get a Fekir in? You guys know how much I like Fekir. If we can make that work, get him in with a Lacazette, oh my goodness. Now, I know, before you blow up my chat room, Fekir is a number 10. Listen, you can make it work. You can rejig some shit as well. If you really wanted to, you can rejig some shit. Like, potentially, I think Mkhitaryan, as he gets older and slows down in age, can play a number 8 role anyway. So if you drop a Mkhitaryan deeper into midfield, into a Ramsey type of role, for example, then suddenly an attacking midfield spot opens. Because the longer this thing goes, the more unlikely Dembele deal seems like it's going to happen. The more unlikely it seems like Leon Bailey doesn't seem to be happening either. So it makes you think, what is happening at the moment? So let's see. At the moment, there's no other stories. I'm going to do an Eagle Eye episode every single day this week, leading up until Thursday, where Thursday I'm going to do a preview show with Frimpong. That's right, the man, the myth, the legend, the team talk maestro himself. Frimpong is going to be on the show with me, where we're going to preview the Arsenal versus Man City game. It's going to be a busy Thursday for me because then I'm going to do an Eagle Eye special, probably around about midnight, just reviewing some of the deals that have and have not been completed by Arsenal on deadline day. The other thing I wanted to say real quick, and I regretted not having an opportunity to say it yesterday. Some of you have seen with some of my shows, particularly the pre-recorded ones, I put an intro and an outro to it. And somebody helped me on that. I gave him a massive shout out at the time I did it. But his name was Tim Vanderpump. Now, some of you who are on Twitter already know this news. I found out this news yesterday, but apparently it happened on Thursday. This guy wasn't even 21, and he passed away. And this is someone who very kindly put together my intro and my outro, and was even set to do a new one for me this season. I just wanted the opportunity to kind of, you know, say that my thoughts and prayers are with his family, and for him to rest in peace. He was a good kid. Good kid. Smoked weed a bit too much, but was a good kid. And all I gotta say is rest in peace. Right, so that's it from me. So I'm going to be back tomorrow for another Eagle Eye episode, probably confirming the Calum Chambers, Lucas Perez deals. I'm hoping we get linked to someone new or someone where we're about to confirm the signing. Either way, stay with me and I will run through those moves. Also, by the way, another thing I've got to say, I ran a poll on my Twitter because we were being linked with Jerome Boateng as someone that potentially could come in. But then I thought to myself, you know what? I used to remember Jerome Boateng as a really good, world-class player. But I don't see a lot of people really enthusiastic about it. So I ran a poll on my Twitter just for a few hours, just to see just to gauge what people thought. And 59% of you lot believe that Arsenal should not go for him. We're being linked with a £44 million bid. Looks like United are in pole position for that at the moment. He's 29 years old, has had injuries, his form declined a little bit last year. But people, I guess, took that into consideration and went with no. So I'm surprised. Because I think Jerome Boateng will fucking kill it in this league, unfortunately. Especially if United get him, unfortunately. But hey, people have spoken. All right, people, I'm out of here. Take care.